And we welcome you to the inaugural USSSA Louisiana podcast. My name is Todd Black, alongside USSSA directors Lane Petrie.
It's great to be here, Todd.
And also Ross Petrie.
What's up, everyone?
So our goal, from my perspective, is I'm going to try to make it easier on the coaches and the umpires. You guys may have a different goal going in mind moving forward with the podcast.
Well, we would like to show everybody just how much fun these kids are having on the weekends and how much involvement there's coaches and parents, how much involvement's going on with those guys.
Ross, we've got an interview with one of your former coaches. It wasn't that long ago. You were just playing baseball. How does it feel to be on the other side of the fence?
It's really cool. Seeing all these players and coaches come through every weekend. Like you said, it wasn't too long ago that me and my dad were in those same ballpark. So it's awesome being on this side of the clipboard.
A little bit different perspective, isn't it?
A little bit. Just as much fun, though.
Absolutely. So, Lane, walk us through what people can expect through this podcast.
So through the podcast, we're going to be interviewing coaches. We're going to be showing team spotlights and different aspects of what these guys are doing. So this week let's see, today's segments we have Coach Keith Menard discussing rules of obstruction and interference. Mm-hmm. And our team spotlight this week is the Saints from Prairieville, which was really a lot of fun doing that.
And if you're on airline, you see them out there practicing a lot. As you're going towards Prairieville, they're right there on the right.
That's right. And they're there every night of the week there.
Absolutely.
And then our coach's interview is Coach Leo McClure. So that was really a lot of fun doing that.
Now, Keith Menard is a guy that's been in coaching football for a while, and he also probably supplements or has another job with you guys with USSSA, and he's got a large task, and we'll talk a lot to him a little bit later in the show. But Ross, a guy we'll talk about right off the bat is Coach Leo McClure. He is the head of Louisiana Tigers organization, and a guy with just a little bit of experience, but of all people, you know best because you played for him. Talk a little bit about Coach McClure.
Coach Leo, one of the most passionate people I've ever met. Right when you start talking to him, you can see it in his face, you can hear it. He coached me for 2 years, my 13 and 14-year-old year, and we traveled all over the country with Coach Leo. He's a very exciting guy to be around. I mean, the most knowledgeable guy I've ever met. Sometimes I go to him with rules questions. So, and he's just a loud guy. He's awesome to be around.
Lane, from your perspective, you see a guy like Coach McClure. Don't you wish sometimes a lot of young coaches could just be around him for a little bit to learn how to deal with the kids and how to coach them? Oh,
absolutely. Leo takes a lot more than just coaching baseball. He's teaching these kids how to dress right. He's teaching them how to act. He's teaching them how more things are involved in baseball than just what's on the field. Practices are intense. Practices are very detailed.
I still follow Coach Leo's dress code.
Well, and it matters because especially at this age, when they get to high school, as you know, they're going to see a lot. He prepares you for your next level.
Absolutely. I mean, in my high school, showcases, that's what helped me stand out a little bit is, the dress code, keeping my hair tucked in, running on off the field, the things that Coach Leo teaches.
Well, let's
one thing you never see is one of Leo's players walking around the ballpark with his shirt untucked.
Uh-oh. I'd have a tough time there.
That's a can of worms.
So Ross got an opportunity to catch up with Coach Leo today at his facility in Denham Springs. Let's take a look at Coach Leo McClure's interview.
Hey everyone, this is Ross Petrie with the Louisiana USSSA podcast. We're here in Denham Springs, Louisiana at the Batter's Box with Coach Leo McClure of the Louisiana Tigers. Coach, welcome to the show.
Glad to have you here, Ross. Always excited to do anything that promotes USSSA.
So, Coach Leo, you're kind of a legend in the Louisiana baseball scene. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Leo McClure?
Well, a lot of people don't know, but originally I was a basketball coach. I was a high school basketball coach and then a college basketball coach. I coached at Southeastern where I also played. But I was always a pretty good baseball player. But, I tell everybody all the time, jokingly, I say, if you lose enough games as a college coach, they will fire you. And that happened to me. And I came home and did several things. And was coaching my sons. I got 3 boys and was coaching them at 12, 13, 14 years old, 15, 16 years old. And probably if I could do my life all over again, I would have played college baseball instead of basketball. So then a few years back, a gentleman approached me by the name of Neil Juno. He lives right across the street from this building, and he had a 13-year-old team called the Bayou Gators. And he said, I want to know if you'll coach our team. And I said, no. And he said, well, I'm going to pay you. And I said, well, you can't pay me enough. And he said, give me a number. And I gave him a number, and he said, 1 check or 2. And then from that day on, I told him, I said, we're not going to be the Bayou Gators, but we'll be whatever you want to be.
Can't be the Gators.
Can't be the Gators. And anyway, that's right. Good Louisiana boy there. And he said, well, let's be the Tigers and dress like LSU. And to this day, I'm asked, are y'all the LSU Tigers? Nope, we're the Louisiana Tigers. And can't be LSU, we're not them. So that was 14, 15 years ago. So we've been the Tigers ever since.
That's a great story. So y'all travel around the country. I see y'all traveling to Atlanta, Florida. Tell us a little bit about how y'all do that.
Yeah, and before I do that, let me tell you a little bit of a history with USSSA. Some 20 or 21 years ago, on a yellow legal pad, I drew a ballpark. And I went out and solicited people to donate money, and we built a 4-field complex. And for 10, 11, 12 years, it was called the Ballpark of Baton Rouge. And I didn't know it until last year, but we were the only Baton Rouge site that hosted USSSA events. And Joey Odom and them had a 20-year reunion, and we all ate. And we really, that park gave UTRIP birth in Baton Rouge. There was no other park to play at. We were full every weekend. So I did that, and then coached our teams. And then my son started coaching with me. And it was pretty neat because you played on one of the teams with my youngest son. And our goal was to get to the elite. And we had a 12-year-old dynamite team. I think some people called them the Golden Boys. And we got to Disney at 12s and ran into some really good teams, and we were nationally good and didn't win it. We went back as 13s, made a mistake, and didn't win it. We went back as 14s, and we finally won the elite. And that's when it was full all the time. And then we've been back numerous years since. We've won it again. We've finished 3rd place, runner-up. It's been a really special trip for us, the USSSA Elite.
Seems like y'all are always in the big dance. That's great for the Tigers organization. Great for you as a coach, I'm sure. So before we wrap up, like I said, you're a little bit of a legend in the Louisiana scene. So is there one thing that no one really knows about you?
One thing that nobody knows. Well, I'm sure a lot of people know that my boys played for the legendary Skip Bertman, which to this day, I'm the most grateful guy on the planet for Trey and Tanner having played there. Trey for 5 years, and then Todd, who played at LSU in football and went on with the Falcons, was as much in love with baseball as he was with football. The one thing nobody knows about me, that I'm the assist leader and may die with the assist record at Southeastern Louisiana University. I was a decent basketball player.
Wow, okay. So basketball, like you were your assist leader. That's really impressive. Die with that. It's gonna be on your tombstone.
I'm not so sure. I just like to be remembered as a guy that tried to help prepare young men to get ready for their high school and experience beyond, whether it be collegiately or professionally.
Well, that's Leo McClure. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Can I give you one more thing before I go?
Sign us out.
It's a patented Louisiana Tiger thing.
That was perfect.
Ross, you're young. You say that about Tombstone. The other day, my wife brings me a piece of mail, and it was trying to sell me a plot for my burial. And I'm like, oh, gosh, I'm getting there. But, I had the opportunity to watch Coach McClure not long ago, and there was less than 2 outs, a runner on third, and fly ball to the outfield, and the runner didn't go immediately back to the bag. He scored anyway, but Coach McClure, he didn't coach the result. He coached the mistake, because even though he scored,
this is Ross Petrie.
It was not he called it poor base running. So those are what makes guys, when they pay attention to detail, you can't pay attention to the result.
Hey,
you
guys,
gotta pay attention
this is
to
Ross
the process.
Petrie report.
Leo coaches every pitch, every single pitch.
And, I think what's interesting is Leo coaches a lot of the older kids. Right. Coach McClure does. this next organization we're going to talk about, the Saints organization, has some older teams, but they focus on a lot of the younger teams. I'm assuming, well, I know you have to coach kids differently. And I'm sure the Saints and Stephen English do something a little bit different than Coach McClure would do because they have to coach kids that are younger.
Oh, yeah, you have to bring the game down, make it more simpler for them, slower, so they can understand it.
Ross, you interviewed them both. Anything that you noticed differently between the two theories of the two coaches? And I know Coach English is young with coaching, and Coach McClure has got that experience.
Well, being at the Saints practice yesterday, we can really tell the emphasis on the fundamentals with Coach English. We did a lot of base running, a lot of pitching, hitting fundamentals off of a tee. So you, like my dad said, you break it down to the fundamentals, get them, a basis for learning, and you can tell the Saints do a great job with that.
Speaking of breaking it down, and we're about to get into that with the Saints, and I can always say this is, and as a coach, I still mess up. Vince Lombardi started every year with "this is a football," meaning you can't assume anything. And a lot of times when we have those young kids around, we'll assume they may know how to run the bases, and they don't.
They don't know what a balk is. They don't know, some of the simplest rules young kids don't even know.
And Ross talked about he was out at the Saints organization off airline yesterday. So let's let Ross, as he interviews the Saints, the team, and so forth, let's
hey guys,
check it out.
This is Ross Petrie
Airline
reporting
Highway
live from
in
the Saints
Prairieville.
Youth Baseball Organization here in Baton Rouge. It's Tuesday night. We're out here at practice with the Saints. We're doing a live baseball drill. Base runners running, fielders fielding. It's some live game prep. Getting ready for this weekend, May 18th. It's going to be a good one. There's a lot going on out here, man. A lot of people flying around, a lot of balls in the air. We got live play, ball to shortstop. Boom, baby.
Sweet double play right there. And then right after that, Ross, you had the opportunity to talk to Coach English, who is now the head of the Saints organization.
What's up, guys? This is Ross Petrie with the Louisiana USSSA podcast. We are here with Director Stephen English at the Saints Youth Baseball Organization. We're having practice right now. It's Tuesday before the May 18th tournaments. We're here with Coach Stephen, and really just want to ask you about your organization and kind of how you got started with all this. So can you tell us a little bit of your background and how you got started with directing the Saints?
Yeah, the Saints were started in 2012 by a guy named David Kibbe. He's out here in Prairieville, and he ran the Saints, ran a great organization. Saints are always known for awesome family fun, and he grew it into a winning program as well. And his son started getting older and kind of getting toward the high school years, and so David decided he wanted to focus on them and let them kind of get ready for high school, and so he turned the ship over to me. I had some conversations with him and just told him about my baseball background and passion for the game and stuff, and so I've been directing it since 2016, so a few years now. And when David turned it over to me, a lot of his coaches went with him or went to other organizations. A lot of the players moved on, so we started back over kind of again with the brand, and had all fresh teams, and we've built it since then over the last 3 years. And so now all of our tournament teams 7 through 11, we have 7 teams, 2 7-year-old teams, and we have teams 6 through 11. But our tournament teams 7 through 11 are all AAA this year, and so we're enjoying that. We're having fun with the better competition teams, and our players are getting better. So it's the biggest thing about our program, man, is the families are awesome, and so we have a lot of fun.
That's what it's all about, man. This youth baseball scene, building friendships, building great baseball players is what it's all about. I really see y'all all across the state. Do y'all play just in Baton Rouge, or do y'all go out of town as well?
Man, there's so much baseball locally in Baton Rouge and Zachary and Livingston that we could play most of it right here. I mean, it's great competition, but we do like to go to Lafayette, New Orleans as well. and you know, maybe a couple of tournaments out of state. And usually we meet with the coaches to figure out what each team wants to do individually. Some teams want to travel more than others, but you know, and then we'll hit up a World Series out of state and let the kids go have some fun.
Yeah, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is having fun with some baseball. Well, thank you, Coach. We really enjoyed it out here. You all have a great facility. Go Saints.
All right, thank you, man. Who dat?
Who dat?
You know, the one thing he said that I thought of as a coach and being in his position is he says he has 7 teams. I multiplied that times 11 kids times 2, which is how many parents they all have, and that's 154 parents to deal with.
It's a lot of people.
It's important that you have a lot of organizational chemistry to make something that big work.
You know, one thing that it really made an impression on me was how much they stressed family and how much they stressed that aspect of it. You know, their players, when we talking to the players, they really enjoyed being together. You can see them; they were all cutting up together and having fun. You know, the Saints are growing. They expect to continue to grow every year. So, and you can see them, like when we have them at tournaments, you can see the kids are well disciplined. They're not running around and causing troubles, and the parents are really well behaved. So it's a pleasure to have them at tournaments. So we enjoy it.
And it's a commitment. It's not only a commitment by the leader of the organization, but it's also a commitment by the parents, the kids. For everything to work well, everybody's just as committed every single weekend, as well as you guys are just as committed as everything else, because without you, nothing works, right?
It's a machine. And
we have, I think, one of the better segments, and Ross, all your segments were really good, but this one only because it includes the Saints 10U team. You had the opportunity. We got to meet these young guys, and it seemed like you and them had a lot of fun with it. So let's take a look at that.
We are here with the Saints baseball team. Who dat? Can we get a who dat? All right, we're here. It's Tuesday night at a great practice. We just had a great practice. Went over a lot of things. I saw some base running, some pitching, a lot of hitting. Looks like y'all are ready to play this weekend. May 18th. Where y'all going this weekend?
Lafayette, Youngsville,
Lafayette? All right, hey, it's going to be a great weekend. The Hub City Invitational. All right, so we all want to get to know y'all. This is our Louisiana USSSA podcast. You want to get to know the Saints. So let's hear it. We're going to start at the end. What's your name, number, and position?
My name is Caden. I'm number 11, and my position is catcher.
Awesome.
My name is Cole. My position is shortstop, and I'm number 8.
What's up, Cole?
My name is Brooks Bumstead. I am number 31, and I play third base, pitcher, and first base usually.
Hey, Brooks.
I'm Cooper. I'm number 12, and I play first base.
What's up, Coop?
I'm Samuel. I'm number 38, and I play outfield.
All right, Samuel.
I'm Davis. I'm number 16, and I play outfield.
I'm Taylor. I'm number 7, and I play shortstop.
What's up, Taylor?
My name is Brooklyn. I'm number 13, and I play shortstop.
All right, Brooklyn.
My name is Dalton. I'm number 23, and I play catcher.
Attaboy.
My name is James Gomez, number 17, and I play outfield. My name is Tucker Swear, and number 15, and I play catcher.
All right.
My name is Jackson Payton. I'm number 22, and I play first and left field.
What's up, Jackson? Thank y'all. Hey, we love being out here with the Saints. I got a couple questions, y'all. Y'all want to answer some questions? All right. So, your favorite baseball moment this year? So I remember when I was playing, I loved these nights, these Tuesday nights, out at the ballpark with my team. That's where the memories are made. That's how you get to play on the weekend, right? You got to have a great practice. So for me, these night practices were some of my favorite moments in my baseball career. What's some of y'all's favorite moments? Y'all got anything in particular?
Brooks hit a
What's
home
up?
run.
I hit a home run in left center field over the fence.
Over the fence?
Yep,
Attaboy.
230 field.
That's a big hit. Anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, he did over Planet.
Can we do last
Who what? Yeah. Well,
I
what's
do.
our favorite moment? What's up?
I shook someone out to finish the game to go to the championship, and we won by 1.
This year?
Yeah.
Attaboy, that's a great game. What's up?
Last year I hit one first, and there was a runner on third, and it was tie ball game, and that was a winning run.
All right, so it's a long season, but at the end we always have our biggest tournament. Are y'all playing in a World Series this year?
Yes, sir.
Where at?
Disney World.
ESPN Park.
And at Disney World? Have y'all been there before?
Yes. 3 times.
I've been to Disney World, but not park.
I've been to Disney World 3 times.
Y'all gonna win it this year?
Yeah!
Yeah, I like to hear that. All right. So we all know umpires are part of the game, right? We love to hate umpires. There's some good people. They love baseball. What is y'all's favorite strike 3 call? I've seen some crazy ones. Y'all do them. Come on, I want to see
So
it.
he went. Shot 3!
Do them. Come on, y'all do them. Y'all do them. Come on, y'all do them. We see like a toss them up and strike 3.
Wait, toss up the basket. Strike 3, you're out.
Yeah, those are all good. Those are all good. Hey, we want to see those from the pitching side, not the batting side, right? All right. So favorite baseball players, right? So as a kid, I always looked up to Pedro Martinez. I love to pitch, and Pedro Martinez is one of my favorite pitchers. So what is some of y'all's favorite baseball players? I know we got a lot of them.
All the way. Chris Brown all the way.
Cubs.
Cole Freeman.
Cole Freeman.
Alex Bregman.
Alex Bregman.
Bregman.
Cody Bellinger.
Bellinger.
Chris Bryant.
Bryant.
Aaron Judge.
Judge, that's my man.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, I like that one.
Aaron Judge.
Yeah. All right, hey. Y'all, I know y'all know their batting stances. Let's see their batting stances. What do they got?
So Chris Bryant goes.
Hit. What we got? What we got?
Cole Freeman's like.
Oh, we got a little jig.
He be like this. Man,
Who's that? Which
Cole
one's that?
Freeman. He's a he goes. He's a tattoo right here.
That's right. Everyone's got their unique stance, man.
Freeman has a tattoo right here.
Yeah, I see that.
There's no limit.
All right, hey. We love the Saints. We want to thank y'all for letting us come out and doing this podcast with y'all. This is our team spotlight. Can I get a who dat?
Who dat?
Yeah, thank y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Oh, man, I tell you what. Bo Jackson.
That came out of nowhere.
It did, man.
I
I'm
love
kind
it.
of fired up. I mean, usually kids are like, who?
Yeah.
Bo Jackson, man. You must have had a lot of fun out there.
Man, they were a great bunch. I loved it.
So it's funny you happen to mention umpires because on a serious note, one of the tougher things going on not only in Louisiana and not only in baseball, but the entire nation, really.
It's everywhere.
Is struggling with officials. You see it at the USSSA level. You see it at the LHSAA level. And our next guest is the guy that's the Louisiana umpire assigner, Coach Keith Menard. And if that name sounds familiar, he is a football coach and a very good one. And I bet he's been known to bend an ear of an official or two. Coach Menard.
Hey, look, good evening to you guys. Not at all. I've never been to the ear of an official, not one time. But
Well,
I will tell you, the kid that said Bo Jackson, hey, we need to sign that kid up. If you know who Bo Jackson is.
Just to know who he is, period.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate you joining us tonight. So tonight we're going to talk about obstruction and interference rule.
We see it every weekend.
It's a misunderstood rule, and Keith is an expert in it. It's one of his favorite subjects.
Yeah, I think the one thing we seem to get these things mixed up. Number one, and number two, we get them every weekend. So we're going to talk about interference. The basic rule for that is a runner interfering with a fielder catching a ball. So that's the one we see most weekends. So for as a simple scenario, runner at first, ground ball to the second baseman. The second baseman comes up to field the ground ball, and the runner impedes, makes contact with, or interferes with the second baseman catching the ground ball. Then it's a dead ball immediately, and that runner is out. We get a lot of, well, the runner has a right to the baseline. Well, he does, but the fielder has, I guess, trumps him on that, in that regard when it comes to fielding a ground ball. So that's interference. Obstruction, in the basic term, is a fielder getting in the way of a runner running the bases. That's what we get a lot during normal play on the weekends.
And
So
that's when the fielder is not making a play on the ball, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. So the runner's running and the fielder's standing there, and he impedes or gets in the way or makes the runner run around him. Let's say the runner's running from home to second. Anytime you have obstruction, the runner automatically gets the next base and he's safe.
So that's
so
that's like if the first baseman is in the base path, which happens quite often in youth baseball.
Right. So when if the runner rounds first base going to second and he hits the first baseman, he automatically gets second base. That would be the penalty for obstruction right there. If in the umpire's judgment though he hit a ball to the fence, hit the first baseman, gets up and runs, and in his judgment he would have gotten third base, then the umpire would award him, would award the runner. As I like to put, the umpire's judgment would have awarded the runner the base he would have gotten had the obstruction not occurred. And that's a lot of mumbo jumbo. But
so that's strictly on the umpire's judgment.
Right. If he thinks that he would have gotten third, then the umpire can get him third. If not, then he's only protected to the next base. So, we get that a lot every week, especially the first one, the interference. Because we always get, the fielder was in the base path, and so the runner has a right to that base path. But he does unless the fielder is making a play on the ball.
So do you actually
do you have any questions on that?
Do you say like there's a play at a base? Do you have to slide at that, or can you kind of maneuver your way around a tag?
Okay, our rule does not mandate a slide at any base. Of course, you can't have runner interference. For instance, if they turn in a double play and he runs into the guy turning the double play, well, you'd have interference at that point. But our rule says the runner must seek to avoid contact. So there's a play at the plate, and the catcher has the baseball, and the runner's coming in. He cannot run over the catcher. So, in that case, he is out. And if we deem it to be malicious, he would be, removed from the game at that time. But he does not have to slide, so he can seek to avoid contact.
So, Coach, you mentioned the double play. The one thing I think it's important that a lot of parents and anybody watching this understand, a lot of these rules are in place for the safety of the kids.
Yes, sir, it definitely is. And, it's amazing how these rules are in Major League Baseball. And, you probably don't see these rules very often, but it's all for protection of the players. And, we just seem to see more of these at the youth level, at USSSA baseball tournaments.
You see a lot of stuff in youth baseball that you don't see in Major League Baseball.
Right.
Every
course.
weekend is something different.
But it's amazing how there's a rule in the Major League, usually in the Major League Baseball rule book to cover those types of things, and it's something you don't see there, but you see in our play all the time.
And at some point, it's happened in Major League Baseball that they had to make
I'm
a rule
sure. That's right. And look, I was asked about, do they have to slide? No, we do not. But they have to seek to avoid contact. We also get this. Can you slide head first? Absolutely. So there's no rule banning head first slides either.
Very good.
Well, Coach, that's interesting. And if I'm understanding, we're going to have Coach on each week to discuss these rules, because ultimately our hope, or my hope, is to get parents more educated, not only from an umpiring standpoint, but from a coaching standpoint too. And if they're more knowledgeable, maybe this game will become more enjoyable for kids again, and it can be all about the kids instead of about the adults.
Absolutely.
No doubt. I'm with you 100%.
Coach, well, we appreciate you taking the time to call in. And once again, that's Coach Keith Menard. He is the Louisiana umpire assigner for USSSA. And we're about to wrap it up. But before we do, Ross, there's a lot of baseball going on around the state this weekend. Matter of fact, you have over 500 teams playing. Let people know where they can find some baseball games before we get out of here.
Man, huge weekend we got. So our biggest event, our spotlight event, is the Baton Rouge Dick's Sporting Goods Wooden Bat Classic. We have over 200 teams. That's going to be at Zachary, at Traction Sportsplex, Oakville, and Livingston Park. In Lake Charles, we got our first weekend of the Governor's Games, sitting at about 50 teams right now at the Power Center. Sorry, that's brand new turf at the Power Center. And we got Lake Street Sports Complex that those Governor's Games are going to be at. In Lafayette, we have the Hub City Invitational. You can find the Saints at the Hub City Invitational. We talked to them today, this weekend. 100 teams at Youngsville, Pelican Park, and St. Julian and Broussard. in New Orleans. We have the Greater New Orleans Showdown. We have about 100 teams at LaSalle and Valrice, Pineville. We have the May Ring matchup with about 50 teams at Hickory Street Sports Complex, Pineville Ward 9 Complex, and Prince Street Park in Wardville, I believe. Shreveport, we have the North Louisiana Shootout. That's going to be at Cargill and Meadowview. So we got a lot going on this weekend. Huge weekend.
Full weekend of baseball everywhere.
That's just not this weekend for you guys. That's every weekend.
Every weekend.
Hey, and talk a little bit about your big tournaments coming up. And I know the state tournaments are big for all teams like the Saints and Coach McClure. Talk about that. When is that? And are there still room for teams to sign up in it?
Absolutely. We kind of lead up to the state tournament. That's in June. All across the state, we have our state tournament. There's definitely time to sign up. Get in there because that's a fun one. That's a really big event. You play teams from all over the state, different area codes. So, it's one of my favorite events coming from, a player standpoint. And as a director, I love watching state.
Yeah, the state weekends we do that 2 weekends. So I think first one is June 7th, 8th, 9th. And then the second weekend is around the June 15th.
Usually around Father's Day, if I recall
it's
correctly.
always Father's Day,
Which is that's a great time of the year for it, for sure. Any last things before we get out of here? A lot of baseball this week. Keep in mind the umpires. Give them a break. They're doing the best. They really don't care if your kid strikes out or not. I mean,
they're working hard.
They're working hard.
Yeah, it's umpires. They're good people that they love to be out there watching the game. So just like the fans, the parents sitting in the stands, umpires want to be out there too. So
absolutely. So we got next weekend. We've got another team coming for our team spotlight. So look for that.
Guys, I've really enjoyed it. And for the first edition of USSSA podcast, Swinging for the Fences, for Ross Petrie, Lane Petrie, and you're killing me, Smalls, and I'm Todd Black. We'll see you next time on the USSSA Louisiana podcast.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.